Well, we didn't want to assume anything, so I'm going to introduce our founding CEO, Derek, to kind of just explain what Hudu is. And then we'll get into the Hudu Red program, why you guys are here, which is an arm of Hudu. It's our real estate division side. So, Derek?
All right, so better question. Where'd you guys hear about it at?
From Mike.
Oh, did anybody not hear about it from Mike?
Social media.
Saw a commercial this morning on KCI.
There we go.
Oh, I've seen the Hudu car parked on the interstate over there. Yeah,
Right on, see, it's
multiple
working.
times.
That's
Is
what
it a car? Is it a car or van?
It is not a van. All right, so I built Hudu for two main reasons. First, I'm going to dive into the reason that was important to me, and then I'll roll right into why it's important to you guys. 2020, I got sent down a path. A simple statement started this whole build, and that was someone had said to me that there was nothing easy about making money, and I happened to disagree with her. So as I'm like, trying to provide facts that it is easy to make money, I discover a whole rabbit hole I go down on how 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. They've got less than $1,000 in the bank. And then, what do those people do when things do go wrong? How the struggle to make ends meet leads to things like increased crime rates and payday loans where they're getting charged, 400% interest. That industry, by the way, profits $9 billion a year. So I had to eat a little bit of humble pie and admit that maybe she was right. Maybe there isn't anything easy about making money. So I started doing some research. I started talking to people from Uber drivers to Door Dashers, people coming out of payday loan centers, and I'd ask them. I'd say, what led you here, if they're coming out of the payday loan centers, or we'd talk about Uber, DoorDash, TaskRabbit, all the different ways, all the different apps that people are using to make money. And I discovered that, I was hearing that same thing. I took this on a nationwide road trip, ended up covering 47 states. At this point in time, I was getting pretty serious about the idea, and interviewed 500 people, did 500 customer discovery interviews. And through that, I decided to build something. I knew there had to be a better way, a simpler, easier, more streamlined way to make extra money. So the reason this is important to me is because I grew up single mom, 3 kids, and we struggled. It was a constant cycle of struggling to make ends meet. Fast forward 30 years, I thought, well, surely with all these gig platforms out there, there's got to be an easier, a better way. I signed up for every platform out there. Drove for DoorDash, drove for Uber, built IKEA furniture on TaskRabbit. This woman that led me down this path, she was right. There is nothing easy about making money, and that's why I personally built Hudu. But along the way, I was like, okay, so how do I make it easier? How do I build something that's better, more streamlined? And I was noticing a trend. Has anyone in here ever needed something done? They didn't know where to turn to. So they go to Facebook and they ask, who do you know that can paint a living room, fix the gutter, walk my dogs, detail my car, you name it. Started looking into those solutions that currently exist. And they're still really complicated. They're a huge hassle. You still have to filter through bids, reviews, get people to come out. They don't show up. Still worried about the payment exchange, making sure they don't run off with your money. The contractor's worried about getting stitched at the end. So that's the part that you guys are more concerned about, is a simpler, hassle-free way to get things done. A statistic I recently learned is that of all real estate transactions that fail, that fall through, that don't happen, 80% of those are attributed to home inspection reasons, not getting those home inspection items completed fast enough, or something comes up in the home inspection that nobody wants to deal with. Mike can dig more into that later if he wants. So let me tell you about how Hudu works. I tried to make it as streamlined, as simple as possible. So when you need something done, when you've got a project that you're asking who do you know, instead of turning to your social media networks or to your Rolodex, you simply go into our app and you post it on our platform. From there, people will go bid on it. Now, you can set pre-qualifications on who those bidders are. So do you want them to have, a 7-year full background check all the way down to the county level? Be good with them just having a broad, across the nation background check? Do you want them to be licensed and insured contractors? Or are you good with just a DIY handyman that's going to come out and maybe paint the front patio on a house you're going to try to sell? You list your project, set the qualifications on who can bid on it, and then qualified bidders will then go bid on your project right there in the platform. From there, you get to award that project at any time. You can choose which one you want to use based on reviews, feedback, their qualifications, and you award that project to them. Simple, very easy, streamlined user interface. Next week, we'll officially be able to say patent pending technology. I can't technically say that today, so today we're not patent pending. But everything about the platform is meant to expedite, save time, save money, simple, easy, hassle-free.
So in this is what Hudu does. We're getting ready to head to Dallas. We'll go into Phoenix, Tampa, and then we'll go nationwide. But we started here in Des Moines. It's kind of our sandbox to test it out. Iowa nice. So it's gone very well, and we're excited. But one thing that has always been important to me is real estate. I've been in real estate for over 20 years, and one of the things I see from the realtor perspective is the time and energy and money that you're spending to get that sale across to the finish line, right? If something comes up on the inspection, your seller usually wants you to deal with it. They want you to tell them who to use, and then it's on you if they show up or don't show up. It's on you if they do a good job or a bad job. And that part of it is what I feel can be a better process for all realtors. We are rolling out Hudu Red, and this is exclusive to Concepts. No other realtor in Des Moines is going to be able to have this offer. We will eventually roll it out in other states, but we are giving this offer to you guys. Regardless if you want to register into Hudu Red, you can always use Hudu with your clients. You can always say, hey, here's a great platform. Go list it, get bids, and you deal with all this. So it's pretty simple. We're not going to be fixing foundations, right? It's going to be 3 sentences that can describe that job, up to 3 pictures that you can take of that job. And then those are the types of jobs that you put on Hudu. And then you start getting people bidding on that. Again, you don't have to take the lowest bid. This isn't eBay. You can take the most qualified. You can take the one that's got the best reviews. But you put that on the seller. You put that on your client to say, I'm going to give you this platform for free because you're working with me. That's the benefit. You don't pay, because most people listing that project, they pay 5%. So let's say it's a $100 project, they pay $105. 5% goes to Hudu. So we're offering a program, which I'll get into, where you can offer it to all of your clients and say, here's your coupon code. You don't have to pay that 5%. Go get these done, get them bid on. Let me know if you need any help with any of this. It puts that time and energy on them, and if they choose somebody and they're not happy with them, it's not your fault. So this is one thing that I see being a huge advantage as a realtor, not only saving you time, but also time is money. So empowers, we've talked about this, meet inspection timelines, reinforces that realtors are professionals. Benefit to the clients, they get top dollar hopefully out of that sale. They get all these little things. Some of the realtors in town are doing inspections before they list the house, and they're getting these things done beforehand. I know that's not feasible for everybody. We are rolling something out hopefully in the near future that may help with that as well. But the goal for you guys is to get top dollar and to get it sold fast, right? And we believe Hudu Red can help you with that. We do, and the one thing we talked a little bit about is we do vet everybody. We call them doers, the people that are bidding on it. We vet them. We're rolling out the background checks. We're already checking all that stuff now, but we're really stepping that up as well. So what we're offering, and again, you don't have to do this. We're just offering this to Concepts. You can just use Hudu Red and they can pay the 5%, but an annual $99 fee where you're going to get a code that you can give to anybody that you're working with. You can do it on your own home. Friends, family, we prefer you keep it in the home selling aspect of it. I don't think we're going to check it real hard though. But for $99, we'll give you that code, and you offer that to your client. Say, hey, here, you guys all have a piece of paper on your desk. Here's a code. Download it. It takes 30 seconds to download. It's easy. take a picture of what you need done, put the 3 cent. Usually those pictures are already in the inspection. Hey, need this outlet swapped out. Post it on the platform. It takes a few minutes to do, and then you'll start seeing people bid on it. So I have a rental property that a huge tree branch just fell down on my tenant's car. Called around to some tree places just to get an idea of what their time frame was and what they cost before I put it on there. Nobody called me back. The people that did, they were ridiculously high. Put it on Hudu. Started out at a $1,600 bid. Within 24 hours, it was down to $400, and it was done the next day. And it was done good, professional. The guy followed up and said, hey, just want to make sure that you did this. This is truly something that I want to do on this platform. I want to be the most professional person out there so I can get all these jobs. So those are the people that we love to hear from. I happen to get them, which is great. So I think my lowest bid from a tree company was a little over $2,500 to cut it off the car and remove it. I got it done for $400, and they cleaned up the entire yard. There was not a stick in there. So it is one of those things that you can get pretty good deals on because people need to earn extra income out there. We do have more information that I passed out on there. There are QR codes to download the app. If you haven't, I highly recommend going ahead and download it and take a look. You can play around on it. We do have a new version coming out here soon that will roll out a lot of new features, which we're excited about. We wanted to list a project on here to show you how easy it is, but it wasn't working with the technology, so unfortunately we can't do that. But if you ever have questions, need help, you're free to give me a call, shoot me an email anytime, and I'll walk you through it. It's very user friendly. If I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it. Questions?
The Hudu Red, a different app than just Hudu?
Nope. No, basically, you let us know if you're interested in that program. We'll get you signed up on that. And I don't know if there's if there's an easier way. If you wanted to go through someone here, they can just call us directly. It's up to you, however you want to do it.
I don't think we're trying to be the gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's fine. Just want to make sure there wasn't any compliance issues there. So it's a one-time, it's an annual fee every year. It's $99, and again, that 5% is waived for all of your clients and your needs at your home or rental properties.
So it's free for the public, but they pay 5%.
Yep.
To you guys. And
Yeah.
For us, depending on how much we use it, we save that 5%.
Yeah. So like that $400 bid, I paid $420.
Got it.
5% went to Hudu. In that case, if you had that code, it would have been $400.
Got it. And then my sister used this, they had to move like a whole bunch of rocks from one place to the other. She had some guy that did it for like insanely cheap.
Yeah.
It was abuse in my opinion. But the guy was wonderful and grateful, so that was good. But that being said, are they like insured? Like what happens if the guy has a heart attack or
Yeah. Well, there's that. So we're the platform.
Well, to clarify, there's
Yeah.
not any insurance that would cover, that the doer could carry, that would cover that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. That was good. But it worked excellent. It was a good testimonial of the.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious how that all works if something happened.
So there is the next version. They're going to have the option to show what insurance levels that they carry. Okay, so that's coming to you. But the great thing is you can message back and forth with any bidder and say, hey, are you licensed or what is your insurance policy? Most of the jobs that they're doing aren't cutting a tree up. Yeah, there could be some liability there, but I mean, walking a dog, we had somebody do a LinkedIn page for somebody so addressed. Like everybody thinks it's just home improvement, and we're seeing so many cool Iowans think outside the box and say, hey, I need help with this, and I don't know who can do it, so I'm going to list it. And it's not just handyman. We are not a handyman company. We're not. We are a company that's geared to help somebody make money and do jobs. Anything that's legal, you can post on there.
Like, would you say, like, I have a printer that hasn't worked for 6 months, you can fix my printer?
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I can't do it, but somebody on Hudu can.
Yeah. No, we do get some IT stuff. It's crazy some of the stuff that gets on there. Some of it's just too big for this platform. We're not trying to build entire decks that are, fixed decks, stain decks, stuff like that. But if you really can explain that deck in 3 sentences with 3 pictures saying these are dimensions, this is what I need done, you may get some great bids on that. And that's one you'll probably want to verify they have insurance on.
And what's cool is one of our features that we're rolling out in our version 2 and our phase 2 is you're able to select what types of people can bid on your project. So if you do want a professional, you can select that as you list your project, and then only people who are verified licensed and verified insured can bid on those projects. And even right now, there are licensed and registered contractors on there, everything from mechanical, electrical, plumbing, all the others.
Yeah, we've had some electrical stuff done with the licensed electrician.
How do you guys vet them? These, trades, professional trades people, how do you vet them on your end?
There's a subscription fee to the Hudu Pro, and then from there, we partnered up with a company out of Chicago, and once they do that, they are able to upload their contractor's insurance and then their state licensure number, and then we cross-reference all of that.
So that will eventually show up in their profile, what's all verified.
I like this one that I just found.
Which one?
The guy that's looking for an executive family.
That's what
more
we're looking at, too.
That's me. Do you guys know anybody?
That's
Is that you?
It's a real job. I
was
need
gonna
that.
say.
That was creative marketing, man. You got me to keep reading.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Wait, what was it?
Yeah, if
You're
you guys
looking
need
for a housewife.
Yeah.
3 kids, feed them dinner, run them to all their activities.
He's working 20 hours a day to keep this thing
And I'm
going.
a single
so he
dad
needs
with
help.
3 kids.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
something for you.
Yeah.
5% though.
Rachel.
I seriously do.
So is this, you put a bid out there, so say you need like plumbing work, does it go to like Golden Rule, or is it just individuals that are signing up as like,
Yep.
so somebody that works at Golden Rule could do this outside of
Exactly.
hours? But it's
Yeah,
not
they would
going-
have to sign up for the platform to see it.
But it's not going to like the companies?
No.
To bid?
Nope.
Okay.
But could they if they wanted to?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of those people in the trades right now,
Well,
especially,
I was just,
are doing side jobs. Like, hey, after work, I can go run a couple of wires for you or fix the toilet. And what I see is a lot of these inspection items, people don't want to go, they don't want to come do them because they're too small, right? You have issues getting people there to fix a toilet, fix a leaky sink, whatever it may be. This is what this is perfect for. These are people that just need to make extra money. There was a guy early on that, excuse me, that needed money to buy his daughter a dress to go to a dance. He went and did like 3 jobs, got paid immediately, bought his daughter a dance, and let us know that how happy he was that he could send his daughter to the dance because he was able to go out and make a little extra money to buy her a dress. Those are the people that we want. Those are the people that are helping.
Do they get paid through the?
Yeah, so what happens is once that project is done and they hit on the app that it's complete, you have to be happy with it. And then you release the funds. The funds go into escrow, we pay out the funds. But you physically have to release it. You have to be happy with that job before you release those funds.
Do
So
they pay with credit card?
credit
Or
card,
how
yep.
do you pay?
Yep, it's all, you set up an account. You can you can have it pull from your bank account or you can do
Well,
credit.
So you're saying once I accept the bid, I have to prepay for the
Yep.
work?
Yep.
You hold the money?
And then once you say you're good, it's released.
Well, there's a dispute.
Yeah.
We handle the disputes in-house. We're going to be, obviously, when we go to Dallas, we'll be hiring a team for that. But, and we know it's going to happen. There's going to be a dispute. But the one thing that we can say is if these doers really like the platform or are making good money, they're going to go fix the problem if they want to stay on there, else we'll have to.
I guess, you always have the listers out there that, want the work, don't pay the escrow. I just don't want to release it. And so I guess worst case scenario, you guys are acting as our lands, right?
Yep.
This is our, principal broker that will say, hey, first money goes here or there. So that's essentially what you do.
Again, we're in Iowa nice territory. We haven't had to deal with that. We know that's going to come up and we're prepared for that. But yeah, there's going to be things that come up, and there's going to be jobs that are not done good, and we're going to have to, step in. But ultimately, we are the platform that connects somebody that needs something done with somebody that needs to make money and wants to do it.
We have an arbitration process in place for when we do have those. And then the great thing is that the lister gets reviewed as well, right? So if I'm a doer and I go do a project for Joe, and Joe's a real pain in the butt, and like I did a really good job, but he still doesn't want to release the money, Hudu gets involved. Even after the project's done, I can leave Joe a 1-star review and say, this was a really poor customer to work for. I do not recommend you working for this customer. And then Joe isn't going to be able to use the platform either. So
Yeah, that's genius. And I guess I got another question as far as like, we have 401, right? When we get someone's phone number, check the background, see what they drive and things like that. Have you guys integrated anything like that as far as some of the
background checks? Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
who facilitates that? Is that through the app?
A company out of Chicago, but yeah, it's built into the app.
Okay.
Yep.
So the doers are getting vetted, not just from a license insurance standpoint, also from a criminal.
Criminal background check. Yeah, they have 3 options that they can choose from. Obviously, the best option is going to hopefully award them more jobs because they've really been vetted. It's taken them down to a county level.
So I want to comment on that too. Like, there's also the opportunity if somebody doesn't want to do any check. As an example, like maybe they have not had any background check, but they have 20 reviews and 5 stars. So we have a 4th tier that the gamification side or the peer review side, that it gives people the opportunity. I'm going to use an example, maybe a high school kid or something like that may not want to spend the money to get the multi-tier background check, but does a great job. And they maybe make their money doing outdoor landscaping. And a lot of people rely on this and care if they have a background check. This even mow my lawn, right? So we're giving people the opportunity to build credibility and an internal background check, if you will, based off reputation.
Awesome.
Okay, so I was just reading your ad about the executive family thing, so it has like a bid on it, but this would be like an ongoing job, so are these bids just for like?
One time.
It's a one-time deal,
Yeah,
yep.
how do you know like what the,
Yeah, it's a one-time deal. And we are
but
going to
like this
give,
job, for example, is ongoing?
So we'll have a subscription model. We don't have that built in yet.
Okay.
It all just takes time and money to build out. One of the things about our subscription model is that we really reduce those fees down to essentially the bare minimums, payment processing fees, things like that, to keep those projects within the platform, still provide that hassle-free payment process. But we do recognize that on recurring projects, such as, let's say you wanted to hire someone to mow your yard. Well, what's to stop you from, just going through them directly? Well, the great thing about with Hudu is, they can say they mowed your yard. You don't have to release payment until they'll snap a picture. You'll see the yard, you'll see that your sidewalk's been edged, driveway's been blown off. You can quality control the project without actually being home. So it's a contactless, frictionless way to ensure the project was done right. There's no confrontation. There's a punch list that can be created within a project. So like, let's say they submit the project is done and they send you some pictures, you'll get notified. If there's something you don't like, you can create a punch list within the project and say, hey, go back and touch this area up and then I'll release payment.
But when somebody posts a job though, and it's an ongoing thing, do you have to say that?
We don't have that built in. We don't have the subscription model built out yet, so I don't have an answer to that question.
so you can, let's say somebody mows your yard and you're happy. He says, well, I'll just give you my number and I'll do it again. Now, that could happen. Probably will happen in some cases. However, that person comes to your yard and shoots a rock to your window. Guess what? You don't have us to back that. You've already probably paid for it, or he's sitting at your door waiting for his check. So there are some benefits to keeping it in the app, even if you're paying an extra 5% to do that.
But yeah, we'll have a recurring box that you can select. This will be a recurring project for the nanny position, right, or the house manager. It'll be,
Or
this will
it's
be,
even just, it's a one-time job, but it's like hourly, or are these only just flat rate?
they're meant to be flat rates.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll play devil's advocate off of that. So you guys give me my code because I paid my $99 and I share it with Shane. What's to keep Shane from sharing it with 5 of his friends?
We'll notice.
I mean, we're gonna, if you have a each person's going to get an individual code. It's not the same code for everybody. Okay. So if there's an abundance on one person, we're probably going to go in and check where did these people do the jobs at, and are they on MLS, and are you the agent? You know.
That's what I misunderstood. I thought it
Yeah.
was like we had like a universal code
No.
that I would share with my clients.
So what does Hudu stand for?
Who do you know?
Who do you know? All right. Well, hopefully the food was okay.
It was awesome.
Good.
Thank you guys for lunch.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Please feel free to reach out if you have any.
Even if you don't want to sign up for Hudu Red, you guys can do me a huge favor. You just go leave us a quick 5-star in the App Store. It'd be great.
So you have to, pay to be a part of it for both sides, the lister and the doer.
Yep, the
correct?
doer
Okay.
gets a portion taken out of their. It's taken. Yeah, it's you don't see it as the lister, but
It is free to list and free
Oh,
to bid.
okay.
There's no money exchange until a project has actually been awarded and the doer is getting paid.
Because I'm thinking if we're doing for real estate stuff, would you just recommend your sellers get the app and post
yes.
what they need? Or would you rather us do it so we know exactly, because they might,
So
sometimes do you want us to?
I think it depends on
Listing?
the realtor, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, how much time do you want to deal with this, right? Because time is money. So there's realtors that don't want to deal with it, and then there's realtors that want to make sure it's done and done right. Okay. So yeah, you can go on there and list it for them, but I would have them do it under their app,
Okay.
not yours, because they're the ones that have to put their credit card information in and stuff like that. But allowing them to do it on their own kind of takes that away from you.
Right, yeah, like, depends on your.
Yeah,
client.
yep.
Well, you kind of touched on it, but I was gonna say, it'd be better to have the client do it from a, not just a time standpoint, but a liability standpoint.
Yeah.
The whole point is not just to free you up, but if you're constantly coordinating stuff, you're taking on some of that liability. And you may not have been caught in the middle of something yet, but you will at some point. It's pretty much guaranteed.
That's why I asked.
I actually like to just have them use Hudu, because then if I give him an electrician and I said, hey, you know what, he may or may not answer right away. Then if he doesn't answer, then they come back to me, and now no matter what kind of service I provided so far, they're like, well, give me the electrician that didn't return the call. And I'm like, here you go, you pick. And then if they didn't like who they picked, oh boy, I don't know what to say. You know, so it's a huge liability off of me, and more efficient time-wise, for sure.
So how does the bidding part work on here? Like it says, like, does every project have like a week bid? What's bidding?
I just put it on it.
Mhm.
Oh, you
Didn't
can
give it.
say like,
I need this.
Like Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, the snow removal will be huge on
and
this.
then do you get like, so if somebody bid on a project, do they get notified that somebody like bid under them? So they can go back and.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also you can, you're gonna get, like, people can like your job too and stuff. And you'll have the ability eventually to be able to share this out to social, which, you know, hey, this worked great, you know.
Well, not necessarily like the job, but favorite it.
Favorite it,
yeah.
So it'll save in their bookmarks, like let's say they want to track the project, watch it, maybe bid on it later. You know, just keep track of all the projects that they're interested in.
So for like a doer, like I'm thinking like my high school brother who has no job but would love this stuff.
Yeah.
So how would that process look for him to get set up as a doer? And maybe this is.
When you down, I'll let you explain the process of becoming a doer.
Yeah, so every doer
Oh
has,
yeah, is there an age limit too?
it'll vary state by state, but with Iowa, we can go as low as 16.
Okay.
With every doer, they have to go through just an identity verification process just to make sure that they haven't, you know, they're not on any lists that they shouldn't be on. From there, so they have to go through an identity verification process.
Yeah.
Set up their payment account information. So for every doer, we have their name, their address, their phone number, their social security number, and their bank account information. We're hoping that this really keeps people honest, and you know, we don't have problems with crime and things like that. Because we're going to know exactly who they were and where they're at, and if they still have the app installed on their phone, you know, there's other things we can do. But it's really easy for him to sign up. He just has to go through the identity verification process, set up his bank account, then he can go bid on projects.
But once you download the app, you can be a lister and a doer, every single person.
Yeah.
So, encourage you all to sign up to be doers too.
I don't know what I'm reading.
I got one question as far as people that are falsifying their IDs. Let's say you said there's 4 levels of vetting, right? Let's say they don't want to upload anything, they use someone else's ID. Is there any protection there for the lister?
Yeah, we have our security measures turned up pretty high. So if your name and your address and your social security number don't match, it'll flag it on our back end, and you'll have to upload a picture of yourself with your driver's license. So we're pretty thorough on trying to prevent identity theft or people creating false accounts.
So will the general public, this is probably a stupid question, but will the public compare this to like Angie's List?
People try to. Angie's is more professional. You put something up there and 10 companies call you. Those are big projects. You know, this is different. And they're usually just home improvement. Again, we're doing a lot of stuff outside of that home improvement. Car detailing's huge. Trees are huge. Obviously, home improvement's big.
And if you stack us up side by side, I'm not sure if you've ever used Angie's,
No.
but we're incredibly different. With Angie's List, essentially it's a lead generation platform. And the contractors are paying per lead. So if they reach out to you and they message you and say, hey, I would like to bid this project, and you don't reply back, they're still paying for that lead. It's just, and then you still have to go through the process of getting the bids, verifying the quality of their work, making sure they show up, facilitating payment, all of that stuff. We handle everything right through the platform, and we've made it incredibly simple. Like the driving force behind our platform is simple, streamlined, sophisticated, really easy to use. So if you actually stood Angie's and Hudu up side by side, we're incredibly different. Although we both do connect people who need things done with people who want to do them. But that's where the similarities end.
We connect more people, they connect more companies, more businesses. We connect people, they connect businesses.
That was the words I was looking for.
Yes.
I appreciate no job is too small, just because there's a lot of contractors out there wanting the big jobs, and then nobody wants to come and just do the stuff for the sweet little lady that is our client. Even if she's not sweet, we
What I was
still
seeing was these smaller jobs, people were bidding in incredibly high amounts because that's what they wanted to leave the job that they're doing.
Yeah.
And so people were having to pay these ridiculous amounts of money. Before Hudu, I would have had to pay that tree guy to come for 1 hour and cut a couple branches up, $2,500, So it's driving down prices for the consumer, and it's giving people the ability to make extra income. Some of them maybe they do it full time, but a lot of them this is their side hustle. They're doing it outside of their normal job.
So when you do get connected with the doer, what type of information do you have on them? Their name, phone number, or how do you connect with them?
So they'll bid.
Yeah.
And you'll see all the different people's bids.
Yeah.
And and then you can click on their profile and see
and message them directly.
And there's messaging between the two. You can ask questions to each bidder.
The idea is for you not to have to share your personal contact information, your phone number, your email address. Right, to keep some of that disconnect there. Think of when you take an Uber, right? Mm-hmm. When they message you, they're not, even though that message goes to your cell phone, to your text message, they don't actually have your phone number.
Right.
So we provided that barrier to help protect, the listers, the doers, both sides of it.
Yeah, great question.
So when you started this, did you promote this to doers first more than listers? Okay.
So when we went live in Des Moines, we built out a list of doers. So when we were ready to actually launch the platform and people started listing projects, there was a pool of doers to go bid on them. So yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take some meatballs with you.
I'm gonna eat now.
Yeah, there's plenty of meatballs over there.